we are recording
So,
for the first time in about 4 years. This
maybe since the 20 anniversary when we tried to do it.
The 22nd anniversary.
That's right.
When
we tried to do 22 sketches in 22 days, but we failed a little bit miserably.
Yeah, what happened? Excuse me, sorry, I need a drink. Bit of product placement there. What happened basically is we had the next sketch lined up. I think we were on day 14, so we were very close actually. We only had about a week left.
And we're about a day behind, weren't we?
And we started having like days off. And then basically what happened is the laptop, not this one, oh I haven't played anything. See, you're seeing the errors straight away as we're filming. This is why it's very on the cuff. We're speaking very generally with you. We want to be honest, and for people that have seen my post online today, you know, the
bit of a rant.
Yeah, you know, I'll show some of it on screen as we're talking, but my mental state's been a bit all over the place, and you know what? We got to the 22nd anniversary. We were even talking about the 25th back then, and then we failed miserably, completely forgot about the 23rd anniversary, and now we're here on the 26th.
A year late.
Yeah, a year late, but we've managed to release a short film, which is quite good.
That's why I've aged so much since the last sporting a nice grey head of hair and a little new beard, and which is removable.
And I haven't, because I just look gorgeous as always.
That's
but I think we're past the YouTube guidelines of swearing at the beginning of the thing.
Are we?
So let's just say the title of what we're filming. Where the fuck have you been, NickeRMel? Okay.
Good point.
Let me take you back to 2014. So we are.
Let's go back in time.
We are literally midway through shooting 2 feature films at the same time: The Businessman and The Object Legacy. The Businessman wraps around about October 2014, and it was almost done basically. It just had visual effects, needed doing, which got half done, to put it nicely. I'm not going to name and shame. You'll probably see his name in the credits when the work print of The Businessman, which is coming out, by the way. You can see it playing in the background. I don't know if you can, but it is coming out. I've managed to work around some of the issues, so you're going to see it. But yes, 2014. We're midway through
anniversary sketches.
No.
Oh, you're not talking about that
this is way before that.
Yeah.
I'm talking like 9-10 years ago, when the problems really started for us.
2012, did you say?
2012 to 2014 is when we started doing like the films. Mm-hmm. Let's just say
everything that could go wrong went wrong.
Pretty much. I struggled to keep going because I wanted to make these films, and I didn't want to disappoint my cast, and to be fair, probably did that anyway, because they're still waiting on films 10 years later. Basically, we did have a private screening of The Businessman, the original work print, which unfortunately doesn't have Robin because he didn't get cast till the next year. So the official release for The Businessman was 2015 in the end, not 2014. But the first cut was released in 2014. So you could say it was released in both 2014, 2015 and 2023. If you want to be pedantic. But we're dancing around the question basically. Let's just say...
Does that mean I have to do a pirouette?
Please don't.
Okay.
please don't.
I'll just have a fag instead.
Actually, that's a good idea. Let's have a fag. As we're being honest, you know.
Yeah.
We're both smokers, so you can go suck one on YouTube if you want to ban us for fucking smoking. Yeah. Let's just say while we're tugging on with filming, and I always say this, but I can't thank my cast and crew enough. They put through shit. They didn't get paid for anything, and that is the one thing that if I ever get, like, win the lottery or something, I will backdate it all. I will pay people, and ideally I want to buy a warehouse in the industrial estate in Bognor.
And have all your equipment there.
And basically set it up as a studio.
Yeah.
And what I want to do as well is, because I was never really given the opportunity and I've never really been given the helping hand, no comment, I want to let it be hired out as well. I want people that are also starting off, like, say, when I was starting off, I want people to come in and use our studio. If they're literally zero budget people, that doesn't matter. I don't care.
You want to help them.
I want to help them. I want them to come in. But this is all a pipe dream. Obviously, we're broke as fuck, and that's part of the problem. You can't make
that financial problem.
You can't make films with no money, and we're barely making any money as it was. I work you say 9 till 5, it's actually 8 till 5 in England for the American audience. Fucking playing with a cigarette rather than lighting it.
I lost my job.
Yep.
Made redundant in end of 2012. After that, I had various other jobs, but nothing that paid anything like I was used to.
And you kind of got stuck in a circle of job, being made redundant, then another job, then being made redundant, and it was just a constant struggle of...
And your mother lost her job too, didn't she?
Yeah, because I don't work... She very briefly appeared in one of our sketches in the 22nd anniversary when we were doing a Doctor Who episode, and
basically she had a stroke in 2018.
Yeah,
and hasn't really been capable of doing an awful lot since.
That's why when she was in that video she didn't really say much. She's she's very chipper and stuff. She hasn't lost her personality at all, but sometimes words just don't come out like they used to. And then there's obviously the house. I mean, I don't know where to begin with the house. I mean, let alone money issues, paying stuff, but the house is pretty much falling apart around us. And when our house is also our studio, it's a bit of a
trickery.
Yeah, a bit of a shit show.
Also, I've not got a car at the moment. I have, but it's falling apart outside and I can't afford to get through the MOT. And I'm stuck between whether to sell it on and get another car, which I can't afford at the moment, or to try and get it through the MOT, which I probably can't afford to do at the moment. Also, I temporarily lost my licence for 6 months due to a point thing.
That was my bad. It was my bad, to be fair. And I'm just gonna be fucking honest here, right? I was out with my friends. We were pissed. We were high. It was 1 o'clock in the morning. I had no way of getting home, and I phoned my father to pick me up because I was in a state. And if I'd walked home, I probably wouldn't have made it home, basically.
Unfortunately, on the way home, we were stopped by the police and I got done for not having an MOT and not having road tax. And I got a 6 point on my licence, which made it up to 12, which meant I got a 6-month ban and a small fine. I now have served that fine, but I haven't.
I was going to say, yeah, it must be over by now.
Yeah, but I haven't been able to reclaim my licence yet due to money issues as well.
Again, it all comes down to money. Anyway, let's go back to the timeline. So, 2012 to 2014, we're making the films. We were at Businessman. Get to 2015, and then this is where my cast starts to get annoyed with me, because I'm filming stuff and I'm like, oh, wouldn't it be cool if we had a scene here? Oh, wouldn't it be cool if we had a scene here? Ironically, the original script of Object 2 is probably finished.
Yeah,
it's just the extra scenes
extra
that kind
bits.
of add to the happy ending of it that are missing. Plus, where we cancelled Listener as a short film and then added it added it as the beginning of Object Legacy, which makes a lot more sense because Listener doesn't really have a definitive ending. It is literally just set up for
and
the
it's
next
quite
one.
short.
Yeah, so it just made sense to have that as the beginning. I thought it would be an intriguing plot to follow this character for 15 to 20 minutes, and then suddenly you shift to her brother, and her brother's now the main character. And it does work, even with footage missing, it still works, because we've got the initial beginning bit with the car crash, which obviously... I might even show you the footage here. Should we show them the footage?
It's up to you.
I mean, it's a pretty crucial point of the film.
It is indeed.
And obviously, this is one of the scenes that was supposed to have visual effects on it, but I had to cut around it. But I actually think the cut works better now. And if you listen very carefully, you can hear a cameo from a scene that actually plays back in Object Legacy, because you see this point from another angle in the beginning of Object Legacy. In fact, I might show you both just so you can understand what I'm talking about.
Look out!
Tired.
I know the feeling.
Well, how much longer? I need to take a piss.
Charming.
Oh, before I forget, I got you something.
What is it?
That's wet seat.
Oh, come on, tell me.
I'll tell you one thing. It'll go well with your collection of weird things.
Well, as long as it's nothing like what my ex-boyfriend would get me, then we'll be just fine.
Oh, men. Like it? Something I found one day made me think of you. Go on, tell me, what do you think? Joe, look out! Ow.
But, okay, right. 2015, we're still chugging on, we're struggling, we're really struggling.
Some of the cast moved away.
Yes, we lost quite a few people because Mark, I miss Mark, and obviously he's so crucial to the story as well. Fred as a character is so important. In fact, I'm gonna spoil something here, but keep an eye out for Jack Harper, Fred Davis, Andrew and Jonathan Myers, and Carl Daniels hyphen Harper.
Hyphen, that's a spoiler.
Yes. Yeah, and that was your idea actually, wasn't it?
It was indeed.
Yeah.
Because, well, it was pretty obvious to me that you looked so alike.
Oh, shit, I'm gonna set myself
And even in some scene doubled for each other, that you could easily be related. And then, after a lot of thought, we decided to make them secret brothers, but
Yeah.
neither of them know until a lot longer.
Oh yeah, it's not until the big film, My Dream Project Warriors, that Jack even finds out that Carl is his brother. I mean, you as a character, Mr. Myers,
I know more than anybody else.
You're probably one of, because you. If we go back in time, right at the end of The Shape of Things to Come, the film we've just released, which basically is the ending chapter of the Object saga, and then it's moving on to the Warrior saga, which is the big main storyline. So if you think of the Object saga, basically, like, I can't say origin story because there's a chapter in between the Object saga and the Warrior saga called Origins, which is basically going to be a series of short films that introduces us to our new main characters in Warriors. A lot of the Object characters don't return. I mean, they're referenced. There's certain characters that do obviously appear, because obviously Warriors Echo Team, which is our main team that we follow, back in the 80s, you were the leader of Echo Team. Along with characters like Frost and Seth, and then eventually Carl. And there's a character called Dominic Stark, who's the strong silent type, but I don't think we ever actually meet him.
No.
And then that's another reason, 2015, we added Robin as Nathaniel, because Nathaniel
Became a big character.
Yeah, I've explained this in a video before, I think around 2015. In Object Legacy, you've obviously got the threat of the object, but I wanted a physical threat as well, and that's where Nathaniel came in. But then my head started spinning and going, oh, why is Nathaniel doing this? And then I thought, well, shit, maybe he's been the main antagonist for Echo Team for decades. Maybe he's got a vendetta against your character and all of them. And maybe the reason Frost killed himself is to get away from Nathaniel. Maybe the reason we don't see Dominic Stark is because he's already been murdered by Nathaniel. And this is all some sick game by Nathaniel and his master, who we will only say is the entity inside of the object. I won't say who the hell it is, because that is a massive spoiler. But if you watch the Object Legacy, there's a certain scene where Jeffrey gets teleported somewhere and he meets you and Frost, and it's pretty clear where you are, and that kind of gives you an idea of who the entity is, and that's all I'll say on the matter. Anyway, let's go back. So 2015, I'm running out of steam a bit.
And I'm running out of money and work.
We're all running out of money and work, and I'm starting to. I'm one of these people that, with actors, friends, I don't want to bug them. If they say they can't do it, they can't do it, and then you ask them again and again, and there's a certain point where you're just like, I can't ask them anymore. It's just going to be annoying for them. So that's around about 2015 is when we started to lose steam. We added obviously the Robin scenes, which worked, and there's still some Robin scenes as well, Nathaniel scenes, like the bit where, if you think just at the end of Frost, when Myers picks up the letter for Andrew and he's like, he's got the job, about 5 minutes later there's a knock on the door. And who would be at the door, do you think?
I wonder.
Nathaniel, basically. And this is one of the scenes that may or may not get filmed, depending on if we can get Robin back. I'd love to get Robin.
On his availability.
Yeah, because he is fantastic. Professionally trained, like Elliott and Harvey.
And me.
And you, obviously. And I suppose technically me as well.
Yeah.
Like, sorry, let me just puff my cigarette. You really want to use and abuse those actors because you know you can get the raw emotion from them, and that's why I think Robin works so well as Nathaniel, because he's so ruthless, but there's this almost cheeky side to him sometimes.
He's a good character.
Yes.
And he plays it perfectly.
Yeah. And as obviously I assume you've seen The Shape of Things to Come before this, you know that he survives the gun wound to the eye, and there's a reason that we put that scene in, and I'm not going to say any more on that, but he won't be in the Warriors movies, but he may be in the follow-up TV show, and he may play a major role. So let's get back to the problems. Okay, 2015, we're running out of steam. We decide to take a break, and this is the first of many breaks. And then around about 2016, I start going back to Doctor Who.
But yeah, we did some Doctor Who then.
And then I have a love-hate relationship with Doctor Who. And then when Doctor Who gets on real, I'm talking about real BBC Doctor Who, and when Doctor Who gets good, it inspires me to make Doctor Who fan films. And around about this time, it was 2015, a couple of years after 50th, I think Matt Smith had just left, Peter Capaldi had come in.
Capaldi, yeah.
And then you had the whole Missy Master arc, and it just really inspired me to go back. So, around about 2017, when we started to get the gears rolling again, it's technically a prequel to the sequel show of The Teenage Doctor, but it's also a standalone short film, and I had this idea for ages. It was supposed to, the working title for it was just called Shepherd. And the reason it's called Shepherd is because, as you see in the short film, the Doctor we're following is not the Doctor.
Not the real Doctor.
He's a Time Lord that's been manipulated by the Guardian of Time, one of the high-ranking members of the Gallifreyan Council, with the Doctor's memories to make him a warrior to help in the Time War. But obviously he's too late, and I'm essentially activated just as the Time War ends. So I have no...
For me,
from Shepherd's perspective, he has the memories up to about the 8th Doctor. He has no idea about 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 and so on and so forth. And there was going to be an episode in Curse of the Teenage Doctor where we meet the real Doctor, and it was going to be played by Elliott, because obviously Elliott is a perfect impersonation for David Tennant. It's one of his great talents as a voice actor, as well as being a natural actor. He's got the presence for it. And we were going to do a body swap, basically, where him and Mike swapped bodies. And suddenly, the real Doctor is in Mike, and you see Mike, but he's now speaking like
The Doctor.
David Tennant. It's just, you know, it was... And that was a crazy idea we were going to do. But basically, going back to Shepherd, for me, we got stuck with Doctor Who, the original series, because over time we kept upgrading characters. We started off with a standard definition camera, then we moved on to, let's say, an early iteration of a HD camera, not the one we're using at the moment, which is, God, this camera's 10 years old now.
No, but it's the newest one we got.
Yeah, it's the newest one we got, which is sad because I love this camera, but it's 10 years old. I could do with getting a 4K camera now. Or maybe just start filming on my iPhone. You know, have you seen the quality of videos on iPhones? It's ridiculous.
I know.
I've seen people make short films on iPhones. No, it's the way to go. Maybe
Well, who knows? I don't know. I like a camera though.
Yeah, I do. I like the physical presence of camera, like the weight of it, the feel of it. It gives you presence when you're filming, almost. So yeah, around about 2017, we're filming bits and pieces
to slot into the missing bits into
to slot into this short film that's basically a bridge. I wanted people to know the truth, and that's where the idea of Shepherd came from, which ended up becoming Doctor Who: Curse of the Teenage Doctor Before the Prime. And the reason it's called Before the Prime is during the 50th anniversary, Harvey came up with this multimedia storyline where I had a load of fan fiction doctors come in, including mine, and it was a basically a cross-journey adventure. And Harvey at one point was considering actually making this, like filming it or making it an audio. So it Shepherd / Before the Prime acts as two things. It acts as a prequel to Curse of the Teenage Doctor, but it also acts as a prequel to Harvey's story, Doctor Who: The Prime Doctor. That's why it's called Before the Prime.
Before the Prime, yeah.
But it still served that main purpose that I wanted. It's a short film that explains the Doctor is not the Doctor, he's not Wright, he's still struggling with not knowing who he is, and we also introduce the main enemy of the show, which you don't see them, but you see their victims. And that was always, it was almost like a pitch film. Like, I wanted to see people's reactions, see how it went. If people got interest, then, you know, we'll go on with it. So we're still working on it, and then sadly, during 2017, I'm a big, massive fan of Linkin Park, and I was working on the trailer for Before the Prime, and I was going to use one of their music pieces for the trailer, and then obviously we lost Chester, which was devastating. So in honour of Chester, I released the trailer early, basically earlier than I should have, because we were nowhere near finishing it, but I wanted to do it to honour him. And then around about the, what anniversary would be 2017?
18?
The 20th, I think.
Maybe.
Yeah, because if 2019 is the 22nd.
Yeah.
So that was the idea, was to release it around the 20th anniversary Before the Prime. And we got it. We got Jade in as our new companion Nicola. We brought we brought Elliott back as Mike, who is a really interesting character, who actually originally I wanted to play Mike. Mike is I love playing rogues. That's why Jack Harper is such a big character to me, because Jack Harper's like my dream role, and Mike was like almost a prototype to Jack before I came up with that idea. So we shot that, and it really gives you a sense of the tone, because in the original Teenage Doctor, you have serious moments, but you have comedy moments as well. It
started off more comedy.
Yeah,
really.
It started off almost more like a spoof.
Yeah.
But it got more and more serious as it went along. And that's why, with the short film Shepherd / Before the Prime, I wanted to set the tone for what was going forward. Even if we didn't make the next series, I wanted to show people where we were going. So 2017, obviously we're still struggling, and then 2018, I don't think anything happened. I think we had another break.
Mummy had a stroke.
Yes, that was it.
Yeah.
That was it.
And everything went out the window a bit.
Yeah.
I started work as a care assistant, working from about 7 in the morning till 11 o'clock at night most, and I didn't have any time spare whatsoever. I worked for a care assistant for 3 or 4 years, and it was really time consuming, and I did a lot of travelling all over the county, and I had no time for anything.
So we were stuck basically. But then, roll around 2019. Who had the crazy idea of 22 videos for 22 days?
You did.
Are you sure?
I don't know. Maybe.
Are you sure?
I can't remember.
Are you sure?
Was it me?
I think it might have been you, actually.
No, well.
Because it had been so long. We wanted to do something. We wanted to have...
We don't need to do something special.
Because we're going... Flashback to 2015 again. I made a video called The Final Four, which was basically talking about The Businessman, The Object Legacy, Curse of the Teenage Doctor, and the comedy movie, The Poor Comedy Movie. The Poor Comedy Movie. We've been filming that since 2007. It's gone through about 10 rewrites. The endings changed 20 times. Anyway,
You digress.
In that video, I basically said I was contemplating retiring around about the 20th anniversary, and obviously that didn't happen because shit happened behind the scenes. I lost some crew members. I got ghosted by my visual effects artist, so The Businessman was stuck in limbo. Obviously people moved away, so we couldn't film scenes for the Object Legacy, which was sad because obviously it's the grand finale. And
I got I retired around about this time as well.
Yeah.
And I got a bad case of depression, which I'm still not completely over.
I think we've all had it, really, like,
Completely over.
in some ways.
I haven't been able to think or do things, write letters or...
that's another reason I think I wanted to slow down and possibly quit, is because I wasn't,
in the right frame of mind at all. Yeah.
Exactly. But obviously I carried on because I still wanted to finish these final 4 projects, and I put in a post that the comedy movie and Doctor Who are on the wayside at the moment. I mean, I'd love to get back to them, but my priority is finishing Businessman and Object Legacy at the moment. We'll see the state of mind after that, and that's all I can say on the matter. And that's where we come to the question of, are we back? Are we back?
Of course we're back. Yes, we're back. You're editing again. I'm making suggestions again. You're coming up with lots of ideas, and you're back in mind, but not physically.
I don't know. I mean,
You've regained your enthusiasm.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Obviously,
I can see it. I can see the enthusiasm back in your head when you come down and say, "I've just had an idea about this."
Well, yeah, this is the thing. Over
the last few months,
over the last year, I have been writing the franchise Bible for Anthology and the Warriors, and it's around about 200 pages now. Because after the end of, let's call it what it is in universe, after the end of the West Sussex incident, which is the Object Saga, the main timeline splits. We have, obviously, going straight forward towards you is the mainline story, the Warriors. So we've got 2 films, then a 5-season arc where we actually get to really develop the characters, and then 1 final film to tie it up. But to the side, obviously, going around, we've got Origins. Some Origins are going to be released before Warriors, because obviously they set up some of those characters. But some Origin stories are going to have completely new characters. They're going to be completely new stories. They'll still be set in the same universe. You may get a cameo here and there, but they are their own things. And then we've got the 2 main spin-off shows. They're not even shows, what am I on about? They're spin-off trilogies. We've got The Gathering, obviously, which was originally supposed to be part of the Object Saga, and it will be the only film, I'm going to say, I can say this now for the moment, but it's going to be the only film that will delve back into the West Sussex incident, because between the Fear Inside, which is essentially a beginning incident, and the Object Legacy, there's a 5-year gap. and let's just say The Gathering fits in that 5-year
Fits
gap,
in the gap, yeah.
where Jack is still in a wheelchair and he meets a couple of individuals that have the same mindset, and let's just say they break the law, but in a good way. They become vigilantes, and in fact I think we've got some test footage I could probably show you right now if I feel like it.
Yeah.
Jack Harper?
Yes. Thank you.
What the hell is that?
Just in case something goes wrong.
Jack, I'm a doctor, not a killer.
If it came between you and someone else living or dying, what would you do?
Well,
Yeah. That's what for. Come on. Let's do this. Dr. Carter. Sorry, I digress. Anyway, so 2019, obviously we come back, we start doing sketches, and then about halfway through the computer breaks, I lose all my editing. We're obviously halfway through editing a sketch, and I lose the will to live. And then, what happens at the end of 2019 / beginning of 2020? What happened to the world?
COVID.
Yes, COVID happened, and you'd think, for people like us, that'd be the perfect time to film. We're all off work. We've got all the time in the world to film.
But you didn't go off work.
Unfortunately, I was a fucking keep worker, so I worked the whole fucking time. And I am insinuating that in a bastardised way. Don't get me wrong, I love the people I work with, but the job, well, let's just say it pays the bills. Well, some of them. Some of them.
Some of them. Mm.
And that's where one of the main issues comes in. So, right, let's get into issues. Issue money. Issue mental state. Issue illness. What's wrong with you?
I don't know. Also, I've got sciatica. I've got a thing that makes me want to sleep all day long. I've got depression, and I'd love to be an alcoholic, but I can't afford it.
Me? I've got a busted shoulder, I've got a busted knee, and my back's fucked. And I'm only 35. So I've got no fucking chance in life. And then there's obviously poor mother who had a stroke. And she's doing a lot better now, but still, you know, there's
She's still got a lot of pain.
Yeah, she's in pain a lot, and she needs help. And that is our main focus at the moment, is looking after the family. I mean, I'm 35 and I'm still at home. Why the fuck do you think I'm still at home? It's because I am supporting my family.
Also, it's a thing of the age, because of the way things are at the moment. People can't afford. You get more and more 20 and 30 people still living with their parents because people just can't afford to go in the
Well,
housing
you
ladder.
get people that get married and then end up living with their parents because they can't afford to.
They can't afford their own home because it's out of the market, out of the question for them. There's no money.
Yeah.
We're not the only ones.
I know. But it does feel like when you're in that situation, it's you. And this is why I don't... Me, personally, I like to bottle it up. And that's probably why I exploded on Facebook today. And
threw a chair down the stairs.
I was very tired. I was up all night editing YouTube because I haven't been on YouTube for ages and they've changed the whole system, so I thought I'd give it a go. Next thing I know, it's fucking 10:30 in the morning. I'm collapsing, I'm bumping into the keyboard all the time, I'm falling on the floor, and these two come in.
We find him asleep down there with his head on the bed and his knees on the floor. It took all our effort to get him back on the bed, and then he was in the worst mood you could possibly imagine. Accused us of pinching all his cigarettes. Accused us of not letting him do this, that and the other. Stormed out of the room, threw his computer chair down the stairs.
I have anger issues, I'm sorry.
And he was alright again after that.
This is the problem. I bottle things up, I burst, and then 5 minutes later I'm fine.
Yeah.
It's weird, isn't it? It's so weird.
You did the same thing when you smashed the telephone table up. At least when I break things, it's only because I'm drunk and I fall on them. Like the glass table.
Okay. So yes, we've got a lot of shit going on basically, and that is the reason we have not been active.
Oh, released an awful lot recently.
It's been very sporadic throughout the last 10 years. Obviously, we're not as big a team anymore because
But we want to do better.
We want to do better. Obviously, it's just essentially the two of us. When Laurence is here, he helps out. So Laurence is here. Ironically,
Melanie's abroad.
Ironically,
She'd love to get more involved.
Yeah, I spoke to Melanie today and we had a lovely conversation about how much we missed each other. And,
bless her heart.
And it's sad really because the last time I saw her was when we made Freddie and the Fuckbuggers. And that's...
Well, did we go on holiday to Spain after that?
No, we didn't. 2006, the last time we seen Melanie and Deborah.
Oh, we saw Deborah slightly. Oh no, that was
no,
Dad's
funeral. Yeah.
Dad. But Melanie didn't come.
No,
only
she
Deborah.
was busy. But yeah, we're segregated at the moment, and obviously, I don't blame them at all. But Elliott and Harvey have got their own priorities. Elliott is doing extremely well at the moment as a voice actor. He's getting quite good gigs, and all power to him. I'm so happy for him.
He's very talented.
And Harvey he's been working with other YouTubers doing voice work as well. Almost, I don't want to say following in Elliott's footsteps because they're very different in the ways they perform. Elliott's very, sorry Elliott,
Hyper.
Eccentric. When he performs, he's hyper, he's excited, and you love that. He's very spontaneous as well, and he likes to ad-lib. Harvey is very reserved, and this is one of the reasons I cast him as the main character for the Object Saga is that there's a lot inside him you can see where the character won't say anything.
What you think? What he's thinking.
On his face, you can see it says 1,000 words, and that's why he's perfect for the role. And I think Elliott actually got jealous that he didn't get cast in Object. Funny enough. This is years ago and old news, but I did say to Elliott, just wait. Jonathan has a lot to. When we get there, Jonathan has a much bigger role. Yeah. He's in it more than Andrew is in the end. Like, I mean, you don't. And when you get to Warriors, they're
both in it.
Well, Andrew only cameos every now and then.
Does he?
Oh. Until the end. Until the end. That's all I'll say. But Jonathan is a major character. In fact, he's one of the main characters. He's not really part of Echo Team, and we haven't even met all of Echo Team yet. let's just say after The Shape of Things to Come, after, as you alluded to in the post-credit scene, after after Fred, Seth, and Jack go to HQ, they meet an individual from America who's been recruited by another member of Echo Team called Sam Dawson, and he's brought his younger brother with him called Mike Dawson. And Mike Dawson is our main character for the Warriors. So we finally get to meet the proper main character. And then obviously you have Kate, who is our point of view character for the first two films. And then you've got Alex, who is a very, very strong woman, but she has vulnerabilities. Because this is one thing I hate about films now. Oh, women can do this, they don't have any flaws. And that is...
not reality.
No. And that is what I wanted to do with Alex. Alex is a very, very strong woman. She's very capable, but she's got flaws. I mean, when you get to Series 1, you find so many things out about her that, you know, make you think about her in a different light. But she's still very, very loyal to the cause of the Warriors.
Have you cast it?
No, none of them are cast because they're all American characters. Because that is the cut-off point. Is once they get to HQ, Echo Team goes to America, and that's where the story kind of continues. We leave England and we head to America for the next chapter of the story. Obviously, the Gathering will stay in England, and the other spin-off trilogy, I'm not going to say much about them, but let's just say it's another order of people, and they all have certain gifts, and that's all I'm going to say about that certain trilogy. And will it connect to the Warrior Saga? Well, then
you have to wait and see. You'll have to watch it and find out, as Dad used to say.
If it ever gets made. That's the thing with these films, is that's why The Shape of Things to Come was important to me, because like Shepherd / Before the Prime, it's a gateway into a possible future. The Warriors, for us, is almost feasibly impossible to film, because it is a big, high-budget script. We could not physically make it. I mean, you've got vampires jumping across building, you've got daywalkers here, you've got werewolves there. It's just something we physically, as a crew, could not do. You need a studio backing that, and that is why The Shape of Things to Come, for us, will be the closing chapter. But that's not to say we're not going to make any more. The Businessman may be out very soon, and along with it we're going to release two things. The first is only going to be a couple of minutes long, but it essentially sets up, you've all seen the beginning of The Businessman, we've showed it to you a lot of times. Jack is being interrogated by Nathaniel, but how did he get in that prison? That is what we're going to show you for the introduction. Now the second one follows on from the post-credit scene of The Shape of Things to Come, and that is all I'm going to say on that matter. So, what can you expect from us in the next few weeks? Because obviously we're well past the 26th anniversary, it was the 17th.
Yeah.
But we're going to continue on, we're going to we're not going to do what we did and burn out on the 22nd anniversary.
We're going to take it slowly.
We're going to take it slowly. We're going to put time in, because after a while, I mean, you could even see it in our faces when we were filming. We were tired. I was literally coming home from work, finishing at 4 o'clock,
going to sleep until the next day.
And well, no, I was literally going home, get them filming a scene, and then editing it, and then staying up all night editing it, and then going back to work again. And that was for like,
carry on like that.
And that was for like 14 days straight. So for this year, we're gonna stagger stuff out. So all I can confirm so far that we're gonna get is the work print, the final, almost complete Businessman. A little prelude to it. We're going to get a behind the scenes making of look of The Shape of Things to Come. And something I promised a long time ago that I never did. Behind the... My tongue's gone. And this is why this
Behind
is
your
sponsored.
tongue?
Yeah. Behind the scenes of Doctor Who before the Prime.
Ah. Right.
So that is our next couple of things we're going to do.
Fair enough.
I'm going to get back to work editing The Businessman, which you can obviously see here is playing. Oh, I just punched something. Probably because I just saw my girlfriend having sex with someone else.
Oh,
spoilers.
And that's about it.
And then we're going to actually start properly filming again. So that'll be odd for us because it's been 4 years. It's going to be a struggle, and to the naysayers that kind of don't really want anything with me.
We will get there.
I'm just, if you can't be bothered with me, I can't be bothered with you. I mean, I asked for help once from a couple of them. One did and fucked off halfway through. The other one flat out refused. And then you see them all working together, making their own films, and I'm just like, well, where's my fucking invite? Where's my fucking invite, eh? Why am I not involved? We all went to college together, we all did media together, we all went through the same thing, so why not me? I guess maybe because I'm a cunt, but...
Well, I don't want to start doing thingy.
Right, anyway, we're going to cut this off now because we've been ranting so long. But this was the whole point of this video, was to just have an honest talk with you, really. That's why we're just cutting off, looking to the camera and talking to you, because we just wanted to get stuff off our chest. We wanted you to know
what's been going on.
Yeah, why we haven't.
And why we haven't done anything, and how we're now going to do stuff.
But don't expect too much. That's all I'm going to say. We're not...
It'll be slow.
We're temporarily back, but I'm not promising we're going to stay back. That's all I'll say. But there may be something in 2 years, because in 2 years it will be Crap Show's 20th anniversary. So I will have a talk with the brothers Crossley and see if we can do anything. But don't hold me to that. Do not hold me to that, because I have not worked with Elliott and Harvey in a long time. I've seen them, we're very, very friendly, but working together is a different story. And on that note, we're going to say goodbye.
Goodbye.
See you later. Thank you very much for listening to us rant.
Yep.
And we're going to fuck off now.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, God, my bum.
Yeah, don't show yourself off.
Well, you don't have to put this bit in.
Yes, we do. We're raw. We're raw.
Oh.
Bye. Thank you for listening.
Okay, Nick.
And see you later.
I'll get your dinner on.
Oh, I'll get my dinner.
No.